Hello, with the recent patch we got the Skilltree changes, and with that there came a lot of mixed up builds for every single character. The good thing is now that you don't have to spend a lot of time to respec in your skill tree and that you will get the perks you want every single time. And also you can instantaneously see where are the perks, you can have a kind of idea which path you want to take and you don't have to spend a lot of time. So in this video I'm going to cover the new and updated skill tree and loadout for Hitchhiker. And in my opinion Hitchhiker is the second best family member in the game. So if I were to put it on a tier list, I would say Leatherface is the best and Hitchhiker is the second best. There's an argument to make that Cook maybe in some scenarios is better. Same goes for Nancy, right? If the victims are playing a little bit slower, you need information. But besides that, Hitchhiker can do stuff no one else can do. For example, we take a Bender Mill, no family member can defend Generator, but Hitchhiker. Also map Slaughterhouse, it's impossible, it's very very hard without Hitchhiker locking a site down. So yeah, his setup time is not long. Then his lockdown on any map or whatever you want, an area on every map is like so huge. Also the trap outside of the window and family house, all these things is only something Hitchhiker can do. And also if you have no cook and you want to say, okay, I just want to defend gates, you can still place your traps there as a Hitchhiker. Most of the time you have little grasses right next there so where you can hide your traps. Then it's kind of like a cook padlock. Even if the victims see them and you pop your family thing, you can tell, oh, okay, my trap is gone. So the same that like Cook can do when he's defending the fuse box, for example. He pops family thing, he gives the teammate information, oh, my padlock is gone. It just says, oh, my trap is gone. But if the victims are not careful and they run into your trap, which you did hit in the grass, they take a lot of damage with venom, and most of the victim, if they don't have enough toughness, even just bleed out by the damage of the trap alone. And also once the trap is removed and you can say it's open and they didn't unlock it, you go there, you replace your trap, or you pick it up, you put it somewhere else. It's just insane information, lockdown, slowdown and damage, and all that stuff is something only Hitchhiker can do. The games I played so far where I was a solo family member, the most success I had as a Hitchhiker. I played Gas Station 1 vs 4, I got 3 of them. I played Family House 1 vs 4, got 4 of them. That's only something a Hitchhiker can do. He does good amount of damage, he's fast, he can take gaps, his damage of the trap hurts, his lockdown is strong. It's like a very very well designed family member and also super fun to play. Okay, so let's start talking about his attribute points. As always, I would say learn to manage your stamina, because a little bit tricky here since he doesn't have enough endurance. I would still put armor points in Savagery because 40 is such a nice sweet spot and you can do very good damage to the victims. So if they run into your trap and you get 2 hits on a 50 toughness, you need 3 hits. You know they're going to bleed out. And that's so strong, especially if your Leatherface is down the basement or if your trap is on a place where they cannot easily run towards a well or a gap. Even if they take to a gap, right, you can follow them. And yeah, sometimes you're close to your traps, or you should be close to a trap, so you can get the damage and just kill them. Also in general, just getting some hits and forcing them down the well, and they take a lot of damage, is always worth it. And then the reason why I have 3 points in Blood Harvesting is because I have 25. And with 25 Blood Harvesting, you always get exactly 100 blood if you kill someone. So the most common is every family member is running 25 or maximum a little bit over 100, or 38, I mean, so you get a little bit over 100. But yeah, I would say it's super common that you always have kind of like 100 blood and you feed Grandpa, and if you don't put these 3 points in there, you end up giving Grandpa not enough blood to level him up. And this will sadly stay like that most of the time for the rest of the game. And you're always a little bit behind of leveling him up. So yeah, getting a kill, then going to Grandpa, get the level up is super huge, especially if you have, for example, Exterior Alarm, Suffocating Grip, and Nobody Escapes Hell, right? The 3 best perks, and then you can get those perks kinda quickly is very, very strong. And yeah, it's just 3 points, not too hurt. It's a quality of life changes, right? If you say, okay, I don't care, I never want to really feed Grappa, or like I only run 1 perk in the Exterior Alarm and my cook takes care of that, whatever, then it's okay. But yeah, I would say that's such a nice change, and yeah, for me it does not really hurt. Most of the time the difference between 40 and 43 is not 1 hit less, obviously depending on what the victims are with the health, but if they're full HP, it doesn't really matter what toughness they have. The 3 points more means most of the time you will take exactly the same amount of hits, so not really something you lose out there. And then endurance in the end, which means you will have a little bit problem with your stamina. I would say most of the times try to walk or patrol the area of your traps a little bit and stay close to them, don't run non-stop. Then if a trap triggers and you have dinner bell, so you get a little more stamina points, you will always be able to run towards your trap even if it's a little bit further away, and then get your 2 or 3 hits in you need. But yeah, just make sure to not just aimlessly run around the entire map and sprint non-stop, and you should be fine. I sometimes do run out of stamina, but most of the time only if I force them down the wall. You really have to learn not to run out of stamina in a chase, because it's like a 5-second stun, it's never worth it. Pay attention to your stamina. If you know you cannot get a hit in because you would run out of stamina, just walk a little bit behind the victim, and then you will be able to catch up again. Unless you see, okay, they're beelining a well, then go for it. Go for that 1 hit, run out of stamina, and it will be okay. But yeah, just learn to manage your stamina a bit, stay close to your traps with that lockdown, and you should be Gucci and ready to go, and never really run into problems. Okay, then we're talking about his skill tree. So now the skill tree is fixed. For me, in my opinion, still, Scout is obviously the one you want to aim for. The second most important would be Venom. I would say if there was only a way to get Scout or Venom, I would still go for Scout. But yeah, then you go for Scout, then you look for Venom, and then it's kind of fixed, right? So you kind of forced into this tree here, and you see, okay, well, both of them are not really good, so it doesn't really matter where you go. You'll pay for that, I would say. You still can get value out if you have someone who's feeding Grandpa, right? And then obviously you just go down back, and in the end you're going to end up with a very nice build. I would not recommend going anything else on Hitchhiker. Yeah, they say like chasing Hitchhiker and all that stuff, but Hitchhiker with Venom is just something you I told a lot of people about, and they all switched to Venom because there's nothing more satisfying than having a victim running into your Venom trap and kill them. And yeah, but yeah, it obviously depends on your playstyle, right? If you say you don't really wanna be a campy-ish and defend your side, which in my opinion is your objective in this game as a family member, then go for a chase build. But yeah, if you don't defend your stuff, defend your traps, and you go for chases, maybe one victim is annoyed or died, but if you play against a good or coordinated team, they will all be out. So if you leave your side for 20 seconds, that's enough if they tag team your side as a 2-man or 3-man squad to be out. So don't commit too long to chases, make sure to always check your traps depending where you place them. And then your Hitchhiker will be one of the most annoying and strongest fan member to deal with. So now we're going to talk about his perks. Like I said, Venom is, in my opinion, a super key perk, the most important one, because it deals 30 damage. It takes 30 seconds, yeah, but most of the time if they run to the trap, you can kind of keep them busy for 30 seconds. And then it's 38 damage. Combine that with your damage of your traps, and you getting 1 or 2 hit, or maybe 3 hit if the toughness, means that we're always going to bleed out. You need to know that most of the time the max HP of a victim is 140, and the average is around like 120-ish, I would say. So yeah, 1/4 of the damage just by the bleed out, and then combination with hits, it's just, yeah, it's most of the time a death sentence. And even if you're not close and you don't get them, and they need to pop a large health potion just to get rid of the damage you dealt with Venom by not even being close is very, very strong. Then I've always Scout is movement is key, right? You need to patrol your area. You sometimes need to go to chases. You sometimes need to run somewhere to block or to help out or to turn stuff off. And the faster you get there, the better it is. And also if you have Scout and you're chasing a victim, means that you are running faster, so you can get more hits in a certain time. So you don't have to hit and then wait and run up again. So you can kind of like run and hit. So you're having Scout, most important perk. It also got buffed, so there's no downside of running as. Yes, you have a stamina regen rate, it's 10% lower. You can feel it if you were a Hitchhiker main, that something is a little bit trickier now. But still, you just have to manage your stamina a little bit better. And then you're fine. And now to the last perk, which you can switch out. I would say the only map you really want to do is the Dinner Bell map, is the Family House map. And because of that, you want to place your outside window trap. If you don't know how to place the outside window trap, I just released a new video with an updated window trap, which you can check out if you click on the top right hand corner now. And you also need to learn this map. This is a very, very good map. And for this, you need Dinner Bell. So the victim jumps the window, they land into your trap, they get highlighted, and you know in which direction they were running. And this is very, very strong. Because you know now, okay, did they run straight, did they run left to the well, did they run right, is so much time. Because if you don't have that and you need to check left first and then right first, and then they ran all the way to the barn, they're away, or the other way around, right? You first check down if they ran downstairs, but they then ran left and well, and you didn't see it, and yeah, it's just very important. Otherwise, if you have no communication, or no teammates, or you don't really want to talk, or you don't trust that you have a teammates with voice chat in the chat in your team, then also taking Dinner Bell is because this highlights also for your teammates. So everyone in your game will see if they run into it. Also, the good part is if you have a Nancy, you have Dinner Bell, and it triggers for her traps as well. And what recently changed, so I still can't tell, but we did some customs yesterday, and when someone ran into the Hands electric trap, the gate got highlighted red, the Hands got a notification that someone got electrified, so that's also new, and the victim was highlighted red because he ran into the gate, right? And after that, Dinner Bell triggered. But the fun part, it was only for Hitchhiker. So my teammates didn't see that, but I, who was wearing Dinner Bell, saw the victim highlighted for 15 seconds. So maybe that's a bug, maybe they're gonna change in the future, but yeah, maybe I would say it would make sense, right? Because it's a trap, so if they run into your trap, maybe they're gonna adjust it so every family member will see it, and then there's even more reason to run Dinner Bell. Just to get information is key, and the more information you have in your team, the easier it is. But if you don't have traps, right, let's say you run Hitchhiker, Cook, and Leatherface, and you have all your traps together, because you can kind of locate where they run into your traps, and you have a teammates which you can talk to, I wouldn't mind going for something else. And here there's a lot of options. So if you say, okay, you have a blood-feeding Cook in your team, right, you'll pay for that, makes sense, because there's a high chance that they're going to step Grandpa, and during that time you have a lot of damage. The other thing is, okay, if you run a triple squad with Sissy, Hitchhiker, and Johnny, right, there's a high chance everyone is going to bully you and grapple you and stab you because they have no Leatherface. Then Activator makes a lot of sense because those 20% damage most of the time makes a difference. Or also you can just go run Feral because you have 7 damage more. And in the end, 47 damage is enough. If you really want to go on Feral, I would also say, okay, remove those per points here and then just max out on Savagery completely. Makes sense, is good damage, but yeah, that obviously depends on your playstyle. I would say the most default perk is Dinner Bell. You can always have it on, don't have to think about it, you're fine. But obviously, like I just said, right, depending on your situation, you can pick it out. And if you say, okay, you're maybe still learning, right, and you run out of stamina a lot, maybe pick Hysterical Strength. So at least while you're getting punished in the learning progress, you still get benefit because you hit them twice. I would say you can get 2 hits in and trigger his Tailworker Strength. 1 hit is always free, the second one means you will run out of stamina, right? So yeah, if you manage your stamina well and never run out of stamina, it's not worth it because it only triggers for 1 hit, right? So having maybe 1 hit in a chase is not as strong as like getting those 2 activated, or in the end just run Fear, right? Okay, so this is the loadout on the Grandpa perk, of course. You run Suffocating Grip or Nobody Escapes Hell, depending on what you prefer. Both are very, very strong. The skill trees got changed, so not a lot of people have choose fight anymore, or not at least in a good path. So the close encounter grapple meta is probably not as annoying as it was. It will still happen, there are still some. So if that is really annoying, you can take Suffocating Grip, and don't underestimate it. It sounds only, well, 20%, but it's very, very strong, and most of the time it's hard to lose with that perk equipped. And otherwise, on default, I would say Nobody Escapes Hell is very strong. It's kind of having like a cook padlock on every single gate, and well, if you played Victim a little bit, you know how annoying this perk can be. Okay, so this is it with his loadouts and perks, and now let's go and talk about his... Oh, yeah, I forgot here. Executions. I would recommend Fountain. It's the best execution when it comes to how it looks like. It's amazing. It's a lot of blood, but it takes very long. So I would say if you really want to be time efficient and still have a very nice and fun execution, I'll take that. And otherwise, I think the You Hear Me is also quite short, not as exciting as the other two, but yeah. For Hitchhiker, I do like Fountain at the moment. It's new, it's super bloody. I like the gore aspect of this game, and yeah, that's why I'm running with the Fountain. Okay, and now we're going to talk about his ability skill tree. So as always, we're starting all the way back and work our way from the top to the bottom. And yeah, now there's a thing if you wanna run Dinner Bell or if you have teammate with comms, because if not, and if you don't want to talk or don't want to run Dinner Bell, I think you can go to the left. It's not the worst, but like I said in the beginning, the Venom Trap in combination with the bleed out damage most of the time means that a victim with, I think it's 25 toughness or lower, will always bleed out just by him running into your trap. So this is very, very strong. This is super key, and yeah, I like the, like I said, the damage, bleed out, efficiency of the trap. So I go for bleed out. But if not, you wanna go here, right? So it doesn't matter where you wanna go. It also happens that this is the best one to take, so you're not really fixed. I was always going for this one first, but I think the Hitchhiker trap is only 15 damage. And with this, you have 1 more damage or 2 more damage, something like that. It's not really a lot, so not worth it. It's more worth that they take longer to break free, right? Because if they take longer to escape, means you will get most of the time, even if you don't be there in time, you can get 1 hit in, which you would not have been able to do. Or if you're right next to them, you can get 1 hit more in. And 1 hit more with the amount of savagery you have is always more than the, whatever, 5 damage or whatever you take. Like, obviously, if the base damage is 15, right, it would be 5, but I cannot really tell you right now, but it was not worth it. That's what we figured out. So you go to the middle one. And then you can check, okay, those 2 will not stack. So if they would stack, I would go middle. Since they are not stacking, you need to pick one. And like I said, well, 10% is even less worth it than 33, right? So this is like 1 more damage. Or you take the setup time. And I was always running the right one. But I realized if you play against victims who are very, very, very strong and they're rushing hard, sometimes you can't place your dirt trap in time, or you're super slow, or just the moment you want to place them, they run through you, or you want to trap the fuse, but you need to run there, right? Like, there are a lot of scenarios where it matters for seconds. And then I would say, okay, in the end, If you save 1 second on every trap, maybe makes more difference than dealing 1 damage per trap. So yeah, I like to start running faster placement. The fun part is I quicked up without telling anybody, and a viewer of mine all of a sudden asked me like, wait, are you playing the faster trap speed? So yes, you can actually tell the difference by just watching and playing Hitchhiker now. And yeah, this is the skill tree I would run. And I have great success with it. It's, like I said, it deals damage, it's hard for them to free, and you don't need a lot of time to set it up. Okay, that's it. That's the video for my new updated Hitchhiker. I hope you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you're going to have some good games with that in the future. In case you did, make sure to like my video. And as always, if you feel super nice, make sure to comment in the video below or subscribe to my channel in case you didn't already. Thanks for watching and good luck in your next games. Bye bye.